What? Are you afraid to lose control of Botafogo? That's
No, I'm not. I'm still the majority shareholder of Eagle Football. Aries is a lender to Eagle Football. I think the changes in France are what has everybody confused. It's very clear that I made mistakes in France by wanting to be a reformist. I think the league is problematic in France. I think the federation is trying to take over the league. I think that one man that runs the DNCG has way too much power. They have no black and white rules in France. It's all arbitrary, it's subjective. I think what happened in France is that the French governing bodies wanted to see a change of face because they were tired of hearing talk of reform. I advocated a Premier League model where there is no DNCG. They're just black and white rules based on accounting, not this, we like your business model, we don't like your business model. So I voluntarily stepped down because I knew that I was the problem with the governing bodies there. So stories get written after the fact. I was being very quiet because I wanted Michelle to have the opportunity to win the appeal. That was the most important thing. My position, my ego, none of that was important in France. We just needed to win the appeal. We were always financially sustainable. UEFA had already cleared us through the exam. We had plenty of cash. On May 20th, the DNCG looked me right in the eye with my staff in a preliminary hearing and said relegation is off the table. So what changed between May 20th and June 24th? Clearly, it was not about the money, it was about me. So that creates a lot of questions about my stability within the organization, but I'm still the majority holder. I still control a majority of the seats on the board. Aries does not have any right to replace me. They don't want to. So as far as Botafogo is concerned, we're stable. We're a well-run organization. We've had the best year in 120 years. Nothing's broken here. So Michelle can run France. I can run Brazil. We have a good family here. I'm not worried.
But what happens when you call for help for the Botafogo Association? João Paulo sent a letter. What exactly happened at that episode?
I didn't call and ask for help. I've made it clear that I would like to buy Botafogo back and pull it away from Eagle. I would still be the majority holder of Eagle, but I think Botafogo should be run separately. I think we can have partnerships in Europe that are better for this club. And so in corporations, often if there's a management buyout, board members think, well, if you're going to try and buy the club, you should step aside and not be running the club. But this is not an adversarial discussion. We're having conversations with our board as to whether or not it makes sense for me to buy the club. So while we're having those conversations, the social club just said we want no changes. It may be normal under sort of U.S. corporate standards that if there's a management buyout, that the management should step aside because it's theoretically a conflict of interest. But the social club made it clear that they want no changes, that they want stability, that we've been through 35 years of instability, and we have a great program here. We've done great things together. So I was impressed by the social club stepping up and just saying, hey, talk about it all you want up at the board at Eagle, but the social club wants no changes. So they made that clear.
But you still have this idea to buy out the club
It's a conversation.
Well,
it's a conversation. Remember, it's a friendly conversation because it's a conversation I'm having with the board of Eagle, and I'm the majority owner of Eagle. So really, it's a conversation about whether or not we should be running our club together with Lyon or running it separate from Lyon. And it's a discussion within the family. Again, if I think this club should be run separately, and that's my opinion on the board of directors, the majority of the directors at Eagle are all people that I appointed. So, I probably answers the question.
What will change if Botafogo, this buyout happens?
Well, we've run this club with a great deal of autonomy already. So I don't know much would change. I mean, we have the same leadership in me and the same management and the club. You wouldn't see much changes to the staff or the football staff or the team. So it's really just a question of the long-term future more than any impacts immediately.
What about Marinakis?
I like him.
What do you have plans with him? What's going
Well, a lot is made of that conversation because our relationship was forged in Brazil. He was in Brazil before I was. So we like trading players together. We like recruiting players together. We have a lot of common relationships. He's a bold, passionate owner, does things differently. I have a lot in common with that particular style. So we may, we'll continue to trade players. We'll continue to look at players. We'll continue to have fun
on? For a
socially.
new family together, maybe?
Well, you don't necessarily have to merge with somebody to collaborate with them. So when I say we need more partners, different partners, a lot of that has to do with the sale of Crystal Palace. Because Crystal Palace never became the partner to Botafogo that I wanted them to be. You don't see Botafogo players moving onto the Premier League roster. If you have a Premier League partner, it makes it easier to recruit players into your program in Brazil because you create that pathway. So I think more important to Botafogo than what's happening at Lyon is what happened at Crystal Palace. I've sold my interest in Crystal Palace. So whether it's a business combination or an acquisition of, somebody other than Nottingham Forest, a smaller club or somebody in England, or if it's just a collaboration with somebody that you're already friends with. I mean, we need to create pathways for Brazilian players into Europe and into the Premier League, and that would make Botafogo continue to be successful recruiting players into this program to win championships for Botafogo.
Do you have any cash flow problem here in Brazil? What's happening?
These questions are quite unusual.
Because we try to understand better the whole situation because.
Okay, well, listen, you have no foundation for the question.
Okay.
I will tell you clearly for everybody to hear, Botafogo has been generating a significant amount of cash. It has been funding many of the operating losses in OL. These nonsense articles you see in France that say they paid for our championships, it's nonsense, right? So we've generated cash from prize money, generated cash from player sales. We generate cash because we run a good business. Botafogo has been funding Europe, not the other way around. I'm saying that on the record. We are an audited organization by a top accounting firm. We did all this in preparation for the IPO plans we had. There is no debate about this. If we have cash flow problems, it's because no, we don't. I'm not even gonna say that theoretically. We've been funding Europe. Okay, so now I'd like to keep Botafogo potentially in separate ownership, maybe with different partners in Europe, but that's up to the board of Eagle. Okay?
Fechamos?